Hello, welcome to our first ever Virtual Member Expo. I am Karina Massicott and I am the Director of Operations and Communications for the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce. You told us you needed learning opportunities, networking, and wanted easy ways to support local, so we delivered. Today is all about you, getting you connected and getting you ahead of the game. So feel free to pop in and out, visit exhibitors and the main stage at your leisure. Today is powered by RBC and BarterPay Niagara. This event would not be possible without their support, so we're so happy to be partnering with them today. So a few housekeeping items. Click the links above or on the banners in the lobby to be able to navigate around the platform today. You can use the chat beside this window to submit any questions for our speakers, and we'll do our best to get to all of your questions. For networking, we've got some open rooms available for you, so you can pop in there and meet people and chit chat. Some of our exhibitors also have some video chat rooms, so please make sure to visit them and say hello. Now for the prizes, you're going to want to punch your Expo passport, by scanning the QR codes on all of the exhibitors' booths. And you just use that by opening your camera on your phone and scanning it. Every scan will enter you into the prize draws, and make sure to click on the prize link to see what's available. So today, our first presentation is to help you protect your greatest asset and mitigate your greatest risk, your staff. Janice Davis, Group Advisor of Group Advantage for RBC, is here to help you with attraction and retention of key employees and enhance productivity. So now I'd like to pass it over to Janice.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen before I start. And this is when we all hope technology works. But hello, everyone. I'm Janice Davis. As she said, I am a group advisor with RBC Group Advantage team. I'm sure all of you recognize the RBC brand and maybe even we're your bank of choice, which is great. But you're probably scratching your head at what Group Advantage is all about. So no worries, because that is what we're going to talk about here for about the next 10 minutes or so. It's all about changing the way that you think about employee care programs. So for many years, RBC has been working very closely with business owners and/or decision makers in a company to help them attract and retain top talent and also enhance productivity. Now, you're going to hear this a few times in the presentation. And it's for a reason. It's because it's an issue for so many of our businesses out there that we talk to. It has been for some time. And then you're wondering, how does Group Advantage do this? How do we help with those things? Well, we're going to do it by putting your employees on a path to financial wellness. So we work very closely with the businesses in our communities, bringing employee care programs to their staff. We work with all types of industries and with businesses from 1 to hundreds of employees, and we offer various options to fit the need of that company. As we said earlier, a business's greatest asset and greatest risk are their employees. So having an employee care program will help to protect that asset and mitigate that risk. The well-being of any asset, and in this case, it's your employees, is essential, not only to the functioning of your business, but to your business thriving. And we all want to see thriving businesses in our communities, especially when we get out of COVID and start to get back operating full. So my colleagues and I are talking to business owners and employees day in and day out. That is what we do. Financial stress is not new, and those looking on Indeed or whatever other job posting sites they're looking for a job on, they're looking to help. They're looking for things that will help them reduce their financial stress. They are aware that they are financially stressed and they want help. They're looking for savings plans associated to their work and for financial advice. They want a job that offers more than a paycheck. RBC believes a financial wellness program should be built around advice, be flexible, and offer a customized approach to each employee. So again, 3 pain points of those businesses is the retention, attraction of key employees, and lack of engagement of the staff. So a group plan can help to make your staff stickier. We want them to stay there longer with you. We can make sure they stay around. And as they see themselves working for their everyday pay, which they need, of course, they're also going to start seeing themselves working towards the retirement savings, which is growing with the help of their employer. So when you're ready to hire a new employee, a group plan added to your advertisement is like a magnet for those financially stressed and or those financial savvy individuals who are truly looking for a job, but a job that offers these other things. Remember, if the staff are reducing their financial stress while at work, they will be more engaged. More engaged is going to mean increased productivity, which should then result in increased profits for that business. It is certainly a win-win for both employer and employee as those employees start to save in the most tax-efficient way, pre-tax off their paycheck. So these areas that you see on the screen now, advice, savings, support, and rewards, they're all working together with an RBC Group Advantage plan. And advice includes a relationship manager who will be working with you at the very least once a year for an annual review to ensure your plan stays healthy. It might be advising you on changes to consider as your business grows and changes, or bringing advice events to your attention that you and or your staff can take part in free of charge. We build our plans with you by listening to your needs, your wants, and sharing our expertise from working in the group savings space. Our advice is backed by knowledge and experience, giving you a retirement plan that you can be both proud and comfortable offering to your team. Plan administration, we are going to make it easy for you and your team to manage. We all know life is too hard at the best of times, and we do not need to make navigating a plan more difficult or more time consuming. We are going to give you value for your money to you, the sponsor, and to your members, the employees. And lastly, quality and simplicity of investment choices. All of this backed by the strength of RBC and all continually working together for you and for your plan. So RBC Rewards are owned by RBC, okay? They are not a third-party company that in 3 years we have to change that partnership or that contract. They are RBC-owned reward points. And they're fantastic for people to be able to earn, to buy merchandise, maybe gift cards. My favorite would be travel, and I do hope and pray, and I know that's coming again in our future. So these are things you can use those points for, and or your employees can. But they also can get vouchers towards RBC savings or debt. So if your employees have these points, earn these reward points for various things, they can turn them in to pay down an RBC mortgage or debt, or they can put them as added into their savings. We have various perks with partnerships that you and or your team will also be able to be part of when you have a group savings plan with Royal Bank. So if you were to pay, as an example, and here you see the Petrocan sign there. So if you were to pay for gas using a linked RBC debit card or Visa card that is linked to your Petrocan points card, you will save 3 cents off a liter of gas. So this is just one fantastic example of an added perk. And with that said, when you visit our room today or use that code, as they had mentioned earlier, you will be automatically entered to win a virtual $100 Petrocan gift card. So please be sure to stop into the RBC booth at some point during today's expo. Make sure you use your camera, get that code so that you can be entered into that draw. So what do we offer in a group plan? That's what we're here about. So here are the 5 different ones that we offer. So we have our group registered retirement savings plan. A lot of people like to just say it's a group RSP, but that's what it stands for. We also have a defined contribution pension plan, a deferred profit sharing plan where you can share the profits of your business towards your employees, a group tax-free savings account, and also the group non-registered investment account. So some companies, they will pick one of these. Some will mix and offer different ones, maybe combining to make a bit of a specialized plan. That is what we discuss and work with you on so that you know that your options are, and you make a very informed decision on the plan that will work for you, your company, and your team. It's a pretty busy slide, I know, but it's called Beyond Banking. And you're going to see group advantages on this slide near the top to the right-hand side. But it's also on there, sorry, it's on the slide up there as Beyond Banking, because Beyond Banking are other things above and beyond your traditional banking advice and products. So the things that you never would think the bank would have, you know, it's above and beyond those bank accounts and Visa cards. So some of them are RBC programs like Group Advantage, but also we partner with and have available different resources, special offers to support our entrepreneurs and our very experienced business owners in ways you may never have considered. So Wello, you will see on here, is a partnership that we have that offers virtual healthcare service. It's another type of employee care program. This is an app that you would purchase to have available to your staff and some of their immediate family. They then have access to all that app has to offer, whether it be connection with a nurse practitioner to help with an ailment or an injury. They're able to diagnose, prescribe treatment, referrals to specialists, and they're going to be with you right from when you contact them, right through the follow-up care. It also allows you access to all the reputable resources that they have to help educate and alleviate health stress. Maybe you want to check out Magnet. Magnet's on here too. If you're looking to hire students for summer this year, it's a fabulous connection with government help for student recruitment. Another one is our ADP on here. ADP is human resources and payroll. Again, we have another link to our Beyond Banking site in our RBC room here today. If you wish to learn more about all of Beyond Banking, or even just one or two of the specific ones that are showing here today. So before our time is up here, we want to share a couple of testimonials from some RBC Group Advantage sponsors that were unsolicited. They just came to us. But the common theme is the one-on-one sessions for the employees and the value it brought to these employees. So I am just going to read a little bit from each one at the top. But we feel RBC offers the best services for our employees, and we appreciate that they will be able to have in-person contact, whether it be technology-based or meetings or one-on-one personal contact when time allows for it. And then our other one shows, again, where they're talking about the one-on-one sessions to help employees with their financial planning. They love the fact that the people doing those plans would talk to them at their level, would show them things to help them understand better about reaching their goals. And they had that one-on-one time to be able to do that. So another link in our room today is going to take you to a video from a sponsor that's in the East Coast. So yes, it's not in the Niagara area. However, it is well worth a few minutes to watch and see how we bring RBC banking to our sponsors. And it really is a unique sponsor environment. So this one is on this video. So I think you will really enjoy it. Bank at Work is where we bring the bank to your place of work. Whether it's the way we used to always do it was in person, and now we're doing it virtually, with hopes of someday being able to combine the two together once again. So it could be for the signups of a group plan or future signups because you've had new hiring. Maybe it's for an advice event to meet the needs of your staff to help them with educating and advising them on things that are causing them stress. An example might be you have a good number of younger staff that are all thinking of buying a house and they're stressed over it. You're hearing the chatter at the water cooler. You know they're pulling out their phones and checking things, or they're talking to each other. Well, we have access to all the RBC experts, and we can then arrange to have the mortgage specialist, in this case, do an advice event, or maybe just be available for one-on-one chats at no cost to you. In their presentation or their chatting, that mortgage expert can go deeper in explaining how to use your RSP money for first-time home buyers, or explain what they need to be pre-approved. What does pre-approve even mean? What's amortization? This is all part of the group service available to our sponsors and their teams. Maybe on the flip side, you have a handful of staff nearing retirement. Well, we can do the same thing there. We can arrange to have our investment retirement specialists talk to them to answer their questions on that subject so they're feeling more confident and ready for this next stage of their life. Yesterday, I even took part in an advice event that was offered to all of our sponsors that was talking about exactly this, retirement. And it was talking about how you need to think about in those 10 years before you want to retire, and the 5 top questions of what you should be asking and looking at, you and or your spouse or your partner, to just get your brain thinking about it and looking for those answers and talking to someone. Those advice events are also broadcasted maybe globally for us or just within Southwestern Ontario, but you would be able to join those also and take from them the advice and the direction that they're giving. So RBC Group Advantage is more than just a plan. It is truly a relationship with you and your team, allowing you access to our experts and advice to keep those staff working for you and working productively as we take on the job of helping reduce their financial stress with all we have to offer at RBC. So thank you today for spending this time with me and with RBC Group Advantage and learning what it's all about. Please visit our RBC room where my colleagues Nancy Pressey, who is the relationship manager for the Niagara area, as well as Brent Howie, a group consultant in Niagara, will be available to answer any questions or discuss anything in more detail. While there, remember, you will automatically be enrolled for that virtual 100 Petrocan gift card if you use that code in your camera, and also visit those other links that we talked about during this presentation. Thank you to the Niagara Chamber for having us today to kick off the main stage events. We wish you all a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy your time here at this Chamber Expo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janice.
Thank you.
That presentation was fabulous, and these are the things that can really set businesses apart and really help them find the team members that they need and that are going to stay with them for a really long time.
Thanks,
so thanks, Janice, and make sure to check out the RBC booth if anyone has any questions or wants more information. Now we've got a busy agenda today, so I'm just going to get right to the next presentation. So next, I would like to introduce Blair Severn, Chairman of Enabling Ideas. He's here to give us tips on becoming a sales champion. So you're in for a treat because every time I hear Blair present, I always learn something new. So now I would like to pass it over to Blair.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. And I'm really looking forward to taking you through a bit of a seminar / workshop of what it means to become a sales champion. And I'm going to just start and share my screen so that you have the material that you can follow along. Let's just hit play so we can open it right up. So as Karina said, I'm Blair Severn. I'm chairman of Enabling Ideas. And we help companies and organizations design and mobilize solutions. And you'll understand what I mean by that when I take you through this workshop today. What we're not going to do today is we're not going to give you sales training. And it'll become quite evident why we believe sales training is really secondary to what you want to think about in this workshop. And it's a matter of taking you through and preventing the hurdles that get in the way of a successful sales engine. So this workshop and this material comes from the files of our Mobilizing Sales Results Solution module. And we like to say, when you need to make your rainmakers pour. Because, what are we doing when we think about sales is we are bringing inflow into the company. And we often cast sales in this overall bucket. And I'm going to unpack that a little bit for the specific elements of things that you might want to think about as you are designing your sales engine, then training your people accordingly to the sales engine design that you have. So we're going to talk a little bit about characteristics, tools, and behavior. A great sales engine has each of these key pillars. It's very important to think about what you need as a sales engine to work. And in that, it's about the fundamental nature of the engine that you're building, the style, the tone, the culture, and then there's specific tools that can help it elevate for you. But then we also have to think about the behaviors we want, because depending on the organization, depending on the culture of the organization, depending on our client targets and types, it's going to have a varied direction of what a successful sales engine is going to look like. So as I said earlier, think about, when you're thinking about your sales, design first, train later. You know, you wouldn't go out and essentially work in your house and figure out how you're going to operate in your house until you designed what your house looks like. It's cart before the horse, because the training needs to be specific and responsive and functional to what your sales engine design is about. So let's get into characteristics. To think about our characteristics, or to start the characteristics that we want in our sales engine, there's two kind of baselines you want to have a look at. The first thing is your performance baseline, and then the second thing is your beliefs baseline. So when we think about sales performance, you know, we think of numbers, we think of how many sales from an actual numeric point of view, or how many sales from a unit point of view, or however we measure it, we kind of often lump that together. But we want to think about our sales in types of sections. So when we think about our performance baseline, obviously we want to think about our achievements relative to budget, but we want to think about our achievements broken down into a couple of different categories. Achievements with new customers, achievements with current customers, and attrition or loss of current customers, because those things actually have a different element to your sales engine design. And then we also want to think about our beliefs in terms of our sales approach and our conversation, our messaging, how we are engaging in the marketplace. So what are our beliefs as a sales leader about our company expectations? What are our beliefs about team roles and expectations? And what are our beliefs about individual roles? What are our beliefs about accountabilities? As much as sales teams and people are supposed to be optimistic, we've come across a number of companies where they have a lot of constraints in face of them, and it harms their beliefs, and it restricts their optimism and what they can do. So we need to take a baseline of understanding that before we can design where the sales engine needs to go. There's a really great book out there that I think everybody should read around if you are developing a transformation or a direction for your company, and it's called Change the Culture, Change the Game. The author escapes me right now, but if you Google Change the Culture, Change the Game, you will find it quite easily. And that book advocates for our beliefs drive our actions, and our actions drive our results. It's pretty obviously to most people that results are out of our actions, but it escapes people often that our actions are formed by our beliefs. What we often do is we try to enter sales training in too quickly into the process, and what happens is we're working on the actions and we're questioning, well, why aren't we getting the results we want? You know, we've trained, we're focusing on the actions, we're planning on the actions, because we haven't changed the underlying beliefs that will essentially put speed bumps in the way of us actually working and achieving those actions. So if you are looking to build a sales engine and you're thinking about the characteristics behind the sales engine, the first thing that you need to think about is your beliefs behind that sales engine. My belief in how high is up. I've worked with a lot of teams that go, you know, we're doing great. We're doing, 20% better than our peers, our competitors. Well, maybe you have a strategic advantage such that you should be doing 30% better than your peers, and you're actually not doing very well relative to the opportunity you have. So understanding beliefs or changing beliefs or directing beliefs precede your ability to train for actions and expect results. When we think about characteristics, we think about what type of sales characteristics do we need to have? Some companies really rely on an influx of new business from new customers and a lot as a big part of their meeting their sales objectives. That means we need to be having more hunter weighted characteristics. Some companies rely on a lot of repeat business to deliver on their sales expectations. That means we might need to have more farmer characteristics. And we need to think about what those two types of sales personalities are. So what's a hunter? A hunter is a personality. A hunter is a characteristic that finds new sales from new customers. A farmer is a characteristic that still grows sales, but it's new sales from current customers. They're very, very different jobs, and they require very, very different personalities. There's a lot of writing on the hunter versus farmer, and some will argue it's the same person, and a sales champion is good at both. Some will argue it's completely different personalities, and you are fooling yourself if you expect to get farmer behavior from somebody who's inherently a hunter, or vice versa. I think at minimum, any salesperson needs to be aware and thinking about where hunter activities apply and where farmer activities apply, and they're designing their behaviors based on what is the right opportunity for the circumstance of the situation. So what's the difference between a hunter and a farmer? So a hunter and a farmer, a hunter is very much around taking initiatives. They're innovative, they're independent, they're networkers, they're creative, they're optimistic, they're very persistent and sales driven because it's all about the new win. Farmers are a different personality. Farmers are very much more about relationship building and collaborative and consultative and perfecting, helping clients and customers do better, get more from what we're doing for them. They're detail oriented, they're big listeners, they're loyalty builders, and they're carers. So you can see how, if you think about your sales engine, often companies need a version of both. We try and force these two things into the same person. So again, there's an argument that says you need to divide your sales into these two responsibilities and have different people taking care of these responsibilities. But often we don't have the scale or the ability to have sort of two parallel sales divisions. So we need to at least be cognizant that these two roles exist in our people. So what does a hunter do? Where do they look? They look for sales where we are least present, where there are new geographies, channels, segments. They look where our competitors are and we're not, where our same customers are and we're not. Those are great places to look for and find where you can take your company to new levels of sales. Where do farmers look? Farmers look to what's different about our best performing customers and our least performing customers. And I don't mean performing with us, I mean performing for themselves with what we are doing for them, what we are selling to them. It could be product mix, it could be price points, it could be merchandising, it could be marketing. These are all things that if we see our best performing customers do well and our worst performing customers don't do as well, these are the things a farmer will point out to those customers and help them do better with that. Because if our customers do better, we ultimately will do better ourselves in whatever we're selling that customer. The other thing that farmers look for is what's different about our customers that have more sales with us or less sales with us. In banking, and I used to be in the banking industry corporately, and we would talk a lot about share of wallet, meaning, we may sell one product to a customer, but we have other products that the customer would value. So being a farmer, we're looking to what else the customer can value from us and making sure we're bringing that to the table when we are having conversations with them. So now let's move along to tools. So we've got our characteristics down. We know what kind of balance of hunting, farming we want, but we need to think about, so what are the tools that can really make our sales engine succeed? One of the first tools is motivation. So motivation is what are we really doing behind it? And I know I get a lot of pushback on this particular element. And I don't mean to say that good company culture, good management practices, good understanding of the individual and what motivates them personally more than others, because there's all sorts of variabilities. But what we're talking about really is we're talking about how people make decisions day in, day out, even subconsciously. And the two strongest impacts to what every individual will do on a daily basis is first and foremost what I'm being paid to do. And it's not so much about I desire a lot of money, and so it's all about money. It's if you were paying me, take a production line example, which is kind of an easy way to think about it. If you were paying me to pump out as many widgets as possible, and you don't pay me for quality is not a concern at all. I'm going to pump out as many widgets as possible and probably have a higher quality problem than otherwise. If you're paying me for quality and you're paying me that every one that goes out is perfect in terms of its quality standard, I'm going to pump out less, but I'm going to make darn well sure that the ones I put out are great quality. So it does influence our decision-making and how we perform our job. But almost as important is what are you being asked to measure and report on? So if I'm a sales manager or I'm a salesperson, and on a weekly basis, you are asking me to report on a top line sale with no concern about margin, I'm going to behave in a way that is going to get me as much sales as possible. And I'm not going to concern myself about how much each sale is making the company. If you're asking me to report on margin, I'm going to be thinking about the profitability of each sale. So obviously you might want to be reporting on a blend of both. But the point is I'm going to do what my boss is going to ask me about every week. And the things that my boss doesn't ask me about every week are the things that, if in a limited amount of time, are the things that I probably will let slide. Another important tool is time. And often we don't think about time as a tool, but it's actually a tool if you manage it like a tool. And there's a universal truth. There's basically limited time in every day. No matter, even if you were working 20 hours a day for 7 days a week, that is a limited factor. But there's an unlimited amount of ways we can spend our time. So we have to ensure we're aligning our time with the expectations that we want. So one of the ways to do that, and one of the ways to evaluate, are we using our time as best as possible, is to take a time tracking of ourselves relative to everybody else on our team and find out who is most efficient with their selling time, or who's most efficient with their customer service time, or preparing the reports. We worked with a company at one point where there was a huge variance of time spent on producing the exact same report amongst individuals. Some people spend an hour and a half every week. Some people spend 20 minutes every week. And so once we know that, we can learn from each other in our team about how somebody is producing something in a more efficient time. So thinking about time as a tool and looking at it as a tool can be very, very effective in elevating your sales engine. Finding time. When we think about time, we need to think about where can we find it. It's very important to be really efficient in that. Multitasking is a myth. If you are trying to do 5 things at once, your thinking is always changing and you're losing in efficiency. Replicating repeatable tasks with templates. Swallow the frog means take the thing that you don't want to do and get it done out right from first thing in the morning, and then your rest of your day is free. Blocking out distractions. Shutting off our social media pushes and notifications on our email. Don't instantly give people your attention. Be very demanding by scheduling versus just being available. Plan your day the night before because you are always set up. You're not spending the first part of your morning always trying to figure out what you're doing that day. Plan to do something during your waiting time. I know I'm going to a sales meeting. I know I'm going to be sitting there 15 minutes waiting for that buyer. Have something planned that I'm going to do during that 15 minutes while I'm waiting. Batch related tasks, because the same type of thinking, it's more efficient if you're doing things together that are like activities. And plan your week with urgencies. So one of the things we always do is with importance things, we always get distracted by urgencies. So every week, a little template. What's the most important things I need to achieve this week? What's the most important things I need to achieve this day? And make sure they get scheduled into your calendar. The next tool we want to think about is team. And we think about team as relationships and culture and our group that we work with, but it's actually a tool. What does the team do collaboratively, and what does the team do individually, or individuals do within the team? If there's things that we can do collaboratively, rather than each individual repeating the same task, we get together once a week and we do it, and it takes 1 hour versus the collective hour that gets repeated by so many different people because they're just repeating the activity. It's much more efficient to plan out an effective team versus individual work structure. The individual business plan is the next tool. When we think of as a sales team, we don't really think about it as a business plan, but if we think about it as a sales plan. But if you take the same construct as a business plan and you plan like the business needs to plan, like you as a sales team or you as a salesperson have an individual business plan of your own. What's the opportunity you're pursuing? What's the smart answer? Who will you require be involved from the rest of the organization for you to be successful in delivering on that expectation? What activities by when to achieve what? Every quarter, every 6 months, like you would evolve or advance your business plan, a sales engine needs their own business plan by team, by individual. Now, as we kind of close out, we've gone through characteristics and we think about tools. What does that mean for behaviors? And what is a sales champion behavior? We all have, different things in mind, but consistently across the most successful sales organizations, we've collected a few of the most common behaviors that will make a sales champion. So a sales champion's time is dedicated, planned, and aligned to the activities that drive results, and they forego interruptions. A sales champion will analyze their patterns and figure out how to optimize their time to get the most out of each day for growing sales versus all the other areas that might distract us. A sales champion pre-plans their week to ensure that important is also scheduled in with urgency. A sales champion analyzes where's the greatest propensity to grow and designs a course of action about expecting results versus just putting stuff out there and hoping results will come in. A sales champion hunter is analytical and they're an explorer of new places and sales opportunities. So when we think about if we want hunting, we want people that are explorers. A sales champion farmer is analytical as well, but they're an archaeologist of uncovering insights from current and past successes. If we need to hunt, or if we need to farm, I should say, we want people that are great at doing that, gathering insights out of our past successes. Now, what ultimately makes a sales champion is they're constantly searching for what else they can do and what else they can do and what else they can do in spite of. Because one of the things that we know about sales engines is there'll always be in spite of. We don't have enough inventory. We didn't get the deliveries in time. We have restrictions on our travel budget. So a sales champion doesn't let that noise get in the way of their pursuit of the objective. And so that's a very quick rundown, but thank you for spending time with me today. And hopefully that's giving you a few things to think about as you think about designing your sales engines.
Thank you so much, Blair. Now, you mentioned in the beginning of your presentation about culture. So if I'm a business owner and I'm sort of thinking, okay, I kind of know what my culture is, can you give us some advice on how that business owner might be able to communicate that culture with their team?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Karina. The thing is the first thing I would back it up one step and say, I may know what my culture is, but is my culture effective for the results I need? And so, from a cultural point of view, there's kind of a saying, I can't remember who said it, but I always draw upon it and says, culture is going to happen one way or the other, right? It will exist. So we either design for the culture to be effective, or we design, or the culture will be whatever it is, which may not be effective. So we may be in a situation where we want a very aggressive culture, and we have to design and explain and communicate, and also hire the right characteristics that fit that culture. We may want a very collaborative, supporting culture. Again, we have to design for that. We have to communicate, and we have to basically hire for that culture to exist. So, one of the biggest ways to demonstrate your culture is based on your actions of who you hire and how you yourself as the leader display the culture. We can put out all sorts of vision, mission, culture, value. That won't mean a spit of difference if the leaders aren't behaving in the way. That's where people take the cues from, is the behaviors of the leaders.
Right. And for maybe even taking it a step back, for those who maybe don't even really know what their culture is, should they look for maybe a third party? Should they call you to help them through that process?
Well, yes. I mean, there's some great tools and techniques to learn about your culture. There's tools and techniques at the executive level that you can learn about the makeup of the personas of the individuals, because ultimately the culture is a collective outcome of the personas of the individuals. So you can learn what's dominant in the type of people you have. And so obviously that breeds into how people work and behave. And that will lead you to the culture that you have. There's also tools and techniques where you can, research and analyze through your teams and get information that are indicators of the culture that you have. The number one thing that I always like to ensure companies and organizations understand is there's no right or wrong culture. There's what is a popular statement to say what our culture should be like, because it's the cool thing to say now. But if your business is very much about success with individual hunters that are out there making things happen on their own basis, to say we have a collaborative culture because it's the popular thing to be might be ineffective for your business. So what's most important to think about is there's no right culture, there's no wrong culture, there's the culture that best aligns to the results your business is trying to achieve.
Great, thank you. That's very helpful. And thank you for today's presentation, Blair. For everyone who would like to hear a little more from Blair, he'll be joining us again for Lunch and Learn on June 29th, and he'll be talking about customer insight and engagement. So you'll make sure you'll want to sign up for that one. And you can find that information on our website. So I would like to thank RBC and Barter Pay Niagara for powering today's Member Expo. We'll be taking a quick break on the main stage session, and we will begin again at 2 o'clock. Make sure to visit the exhibitors and punch your Expo passport for prizes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go. Good to go.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our first ever Virtual Member Expo with the GNCC. My name is Amy. I am the Member Program Manager here at the Chamber. And it's my delight to be part of the event and chatting with Krista Gorman today. Before we dive into our chat with Krista, a couple of notes about the event itself for anyone who missed our 1 p.m. launch. As the business community, you all have been telling us for quite some time now that you need learning opportunities, networking, you want easy ways to support local businesses and work with local services. So we've delivered with this Virtual Member Expo. We certainly hope you're enjoying the afternoon so far and making new connections. Today is all about you and getting connected and getting ahead of the game within your business. So feel free to pop in and out throughout the afternoon, visit all of our different exhibitors, our main stage where we are right now, our networking rooms, etc. So thank you again for joining us, and a big thank you to RBC and Barter Pay Niagara for their support in helping us make this event come to life. A couple of different housekeeping notes to make about the event. Above this video on your screen, you'll see the different links of how to navigate around the site, where you can click on the different banners in the lobby to navigate the platform and visit the different areas of the event. You can also use the chat function that you see beside this window to submit any questions that you have during this presentation to Krista or to any of the other presentations through the afternoon, and we'll do our best to get through all of the questions. There is a networking component to the event, so you'll see that tab above as well. And feel free to hop into those rooms, make some new connections, and talk to some great folks. We also have some of our exhibitors that have video chat rooms as part of their booth. So that is an absolute perfect opportunity to make those direct connections and view new services and really get detailed with folks on how you can help each other out. So be sure to pop in and say hello to all of our exhibitors. And last but not least, it wouldn't be a member expo if we didn't have some awesome prizes. So throughout the afternoon, you can punch your expo passport by scanning the QR code that you'll see on all sorts of different pages throughout the platform. All you have to do is put your camera on your phone, scan it over the code and click on the link. And every single time you do that, you will be entered into the many prizes to be won. And check out the list of prizes on the prizes tab. I wish I could win them. There's some really great options there for everyone. So it is now my absolute pleasure to introduce Krista Gorman. Krista is the owner of the Leverly Co. She is a true entrepreneur. She's got a great story of success and adaptation right here in Niagara, and we're certainly thrilled to have you join us, Krista. Over the next 15 minutes or so, Krista and I are going to have a nice chat about the importance of your digital brand as a business owner, as a business leader, and how you can improve your brand media and your presence through your different platforms. Krista, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well on this sunny Wednesday. And
absolutely.
And let's dive right in. We've only got a little bit of time, and you've got some an amazing story, an amazing business, an amazing program for members. So let's dive right in. Leverly Co., such an amazing business name. Tell us a little bit about Leverly Co. and who you are and what you do.
Okay, so hi, yes, Krista Lee here, owner of the Leverly Co. And I guess I'm gonna have to kind of rewind a little bit and give you guys a little backstory. So I'm a wedding and lifestyle photographer. I have been for 15 plus years now. And through that time, I've had really great experiences in other types of careers. Sometimes when you have a passion-driven type of career or project that you love, you have to have that kind of day job, right? So throughout my time as a photographer, I did also work sort of day job or career jobs. I worked for the Business Link newspaper, the Small Business Club Niagara, and also 7 years with the Ministry of Transportation, which was a really great opportunity for me. But at that point, after that 7 years of working with the Ministry of Transportation, I kind of had a little bit of a breaking point. You know, like most people in their lives, you take on a job or a career that you're told you should do, you know, get that government job, get that pension, have that stability, work that 9 to 5. But for me as an entrepreneur, it just never felt totally right. Like I felt like I was meant for more. And so I had to make that tough decision. So I cut those golden handcuffs in 2018 and went all in on my photography business. It was absolutely the greatest decision of my life. I've had such an amazing experience over the last few years, even with COVID happening. But when COVID did happen, it did force me to make a bit of a pivot. So at the time, just before COVID, I had just rebranded to be Loverly Weddings, and I was putting all my eggs into the wedding basket. I had done sort of all the photography, but I wanted to really niche down into that wedding market. As much as like I was very successful with that, obviously COVID kind of interrupted it a little bit. We still did really well last year. We still managed to do 22 weddings, but it forced me to look at my business a little bit different. And I like to think of things, how is this happening for me? You know, anytime something bad happens in my life, how is this happening for me? And so I wanted to kind of explore, you know, where I could take things with my company. And marketing and branding has continuously been a part of my life and my career. Through all my different jobs, I've always sort of had that role kind of as a part of what I'm doing. And as an entrepreneur, certainly as well, I've been able to grow my Instagram to over 10,000 followers. And I just love branding and marketing. It's just like one of those things, you know, I just get it. I understand it. I love learning about it. I'm constantly educating myself, taking all the courses. And so I thought, you know what, why don't I marry two of my favorite passions, you know, doing the photography and being able to offer lifestyle branding photography to my clients, but then also not just giving them those one-off photos, but then taking them and teaching them how to use the photography in the most effective way to increase their social media following and engagement and to make working in social media less scary.
I think that is, your story is amazing. Your passion shines through. And it's, you know, being with the GNCC, we see so much incredible transformation and just people really honing in on their skills. You have such an incredible background that, and so many different transferable skills. And it makes perfect sense how you've sort of moved your business into this new space and, you know, to be able to provide your clients and the community with these services. So with that being said, Krista, I know you have recently launched a new program, a new membership program that we're certainly excited to help you share with the GNCC members and the business community in general. Very, very beneficial for folks. And so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I'm putting out a really unique opportunity for the GNCC members primarily. I did a pre-sale of this. We've actually already sold out 7 of the spots, but I still have 5 spots remaining. So I'm putting out this unique opportunity because I'm trying to build sort of a big brand for myself in the business community, in the business branding and marketing arena, particularly for social media. And because I'm doing that, I want to have like a core group of founding members, and I'm doing sort of doing things differently than sort of what other agencies or other marketing gurus or mavens are doing because I'm providing the photography. So for me as an entrepreneur, I find that it's really critically important that small businesses, especially, and today, especially in the current environment that we're living in, this digital, you know, where digital media is the forefront of our businesses. It is our business card. It's the first thing that people are going to look at when they Google you. You know, you have to have quality content in your feeds. So I want to be able to provide that on a quarterly level for our customers, making sure, you know, your business is constantly changing, your needs are constantly changing, the look and feel of your business might be evolving or changing, the people coming in and out working with you. So, you know, it's important to set those mile markers of quarterly sessions for your photography. and making sure that you have that content. You should be posting 5 to 7 times a week on your social media. So how are you going to do that if you don't have, a good buildup of content? So that's what we're going to be doing with our clients. We're going to be sitting down doing like 2-hour power batch creation sessions, creating all that digital media content strategically. And that's where the education component comes in. We're going to be doing, one-on-one consulting with all of our clients before their session, so that we're working with you to not only give you ideas and help you brainstorm, what type of photography we're going to be doing, but like, how are you going to use this photography later? So actually, like, what are the posts going to look like? And we're going to teach you about different tactics that you can use in your social media marketing that are super effective and are going to be really helpful for you when you're going to post. We're also going to teach you how to use platforms that are going to make social media super easy for you. We have different scheduling systems that we work in, and it's going to make, and the different apps and things that we use, it's just going to make everything really simple. We're also going to give you, I'm writing a course. So once that course is done, you're going to have lifetime access to that course. And you're also going to get Instagram audits and just like a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to have a Facebook group where we're going to have a community so that you can also network with other like-minded entrepreneurs and also get really good quality information and tutorials and tips and our help, like whenever you need it, in our Facebook group. So it's a big package. There's a lot involved. And so what we're asking is, we're looking for our last 5 members to join this sort of core founding member group that we're going to use sort of as our sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Point.
Yes, exactly. So that we can show, and like, we're going to work really hard with these clients to make sure that we're seeing big success and big returns for them as our social proof for our own, moving forward and how we want to take the Loverly business side of things.
That's amazing. And I know from talking with different businesses and organizations who've already worked with you, the importance to you on actually, it being effective and making a difference for your clients. And, I've had lots of conversations with you, and you see that in the work that you do. And I love that note about your digital brand being your business card. And it's so true more than ever right now of people need to have that, their information, and needs to be out there properly. And so when you're talking about this program, Krista, and what it offers folks, you've got live sort of online tips and tricks and training within. You've got a course that people have access to. They've got digital branding sessions with you. It's sort of all encompassing. Yeah.
Consultations. Yeah. So you're going to have quarterly consultations on that as well. Plus we're going to do Instagram audits. So we're basically just going to go through all your social media accounts and Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we're going to just kind of run through them with you and just even give you right off the bat quick tips and tricks that you can do and minor adjustments that are going to already show you, bigger and larger engagement and more return on your investments.
That's amazing. I know I've taken a look at your social media and your the transformations that you've been able to make, your incredible growth that you've seen within your own business. And so, you touched on your experience and all of that, but how do you know so much about digital media and branding, and how have you've had such growth? So how has that come to be for you?
Yeah, I mean, I invested in my own education as well. I've had coaches, I've worked with mentors and done training programs. And it's one of those things, when you're passionate about something and you just like dive all into it. That's me with marketing and photography. Like, those are my 2 passions. So it's nice that I'm able to marry them and bring it together and then share it. Like, I love educating. That's one of my core values, is educating and lifting up other entrepreneurs. If you go on my social media, you'll constantly see, I'm always promoting the clients that I work with and their businesses. I'm always sharing other businesses' work and things that I think are really cool. I'm a very authentic person where, if I believe in you and I think you're awesome, like, I have no problem sharing you on my platform and really like putting you out there, because I think like, sharing good stuff with people is just, it's what the world needs more of, and like more authentically really good stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Krista, with this program, what makes it different from, there's all sorts of agencies and businesses out there, lots of great local ones that folks can use. What makes this different from those other offers that business owners can take advantage of?
Yeah, I think what makes us different is that we're providing the content for you, but then we're teaching you how to use it. So it's a whole teach Amanda Fish scenario. I know that for some people, they want more of a done for you social media or done for you marketing agency. And that's totally great. Like there is definitely a place for them. The people that I'm looking to work with are entrepreneurs who are as passion driven as I am. I'm looking for those passion people and who have an interest in social media, but maybe just are feeling overwhelmed about it and it doesn't quite hit because you have to wear all the hats in your business. You're good at that one thing and that's amazing. And you don't have to necessarily be great at social media, but you might want to be the one doing it. It might be you might be a solopreneur, or maybe you can't afford to outsource your marketing. Maybe you don't have time to dump into just a course. Some of these online courses, they just sign you up. And like I know myself, I have like 15 courses I signed up for that I have not finished online, right? But we're going to give you accountability in our Facebook group. I'm going to be giving you accountability through our one-on-one consultations that are scheduled every quarter, through the work that we're doing with your photography, and then doing the hand-holding in the Facebook group, and then giving you the course as well as a tool that you can reference at any point in time, if you need to make changes or adjustments to your social media.
That sounds amazing. Sign me up. I just have to create my own business first, and then I'll come. And then I'll
we do take executives as well. We do have people from all different industries, and you don't have to just be an entrepreneur or solopreneur or have a new business. You could. We have financial advisors. We have a mortgage broker. We have stores. So we have a jewelry store, we have a designer store with designer furniture, we have a web developer. So like I said, we have already 7 people who have signed up. We only are giving 5 spots available because I want to make sure that I don't want to just sell. I'm not just selling a package to sell a package. I'm selling this because I want to work with these particular people to really see those results. And I don't want to spread myself too thin by having 50 people in this program. I want to be able to give that one-on-one interaction by being realistic as well with my wedding schedule, because I do have a wedding schedule, believe it or not, still this year.
Fingers crossed that those weddings are going to be really big, outdoor, indoor, all of those things. So Krista, last couple of kind of questions for you on who the folks are who can take advantage of this. You just touched on, the different businesses or different leaders that can take advantage of it. How are people going to benefit from it? It seems like a lot of amazing value. Seems like such a great deal. Tell us. Yeah.
It's huge value. And we do offer flexible payment plans too. Like, again, I'm not just selling a program just to sell a program. So, I'm trying to work with people. I know that everyone's in a weird situation right now because of COVID. Some businesses are still not working. And I totally get that. So, we have flexible payment plans where you can have a small deposit and pay monthly, or you can pay quarterly, or you can pay it all on one lump sum for this program. But we also have a la carte items. So maybe this program isn't exactly for you. Maybe you just want photography. We do offer some bundle packages for 4 quarterly sessions or one-off sessions if that's what you're looking for. We also offer just basic headshots. We can do social media audits, one-on-one marketing consultations, product photography, done for you reels. That's something else that we're really big on right now, is getting into reels and teaching people how to use reels. Are the future of social media. And there is so much involved in creating these little videos, these little reels. They're 30 seconds, but there's a lot going on in that 30 seconds. So we're going to teach you all the ins and outs of reels and how to make them, and what's trending and all the hashtags and when to post and all those good things in social media that are just kind of like, some people it's like, whoa. Yeah. Well, we get it. I get it. I understand it. And so I'm going to help you with it. Like I'm really excited. Yeah. And we have the Jazz Festival on too. I know Juliet's coming on later, but she's one of our clients as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we need folks like you to help bring us from, I'm pretty young and pretty social media savvy. And sometimes there's new stuff out there and I'm like, I don't even know how to engage with this, but you're right. it really is simple, and you just need the right people to be helping you, understand and know how to use it. And yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, can I just say one thing about there? Like I'm 39, so I'm like an elder millennial. I like to say like I'm elder millennial. It's good because I'm like the bridge between like the 40+ crowd and then the younger millennial crowd who totally get it. I still understand it, and I know how to communicate it to the the 40+ crowd.
So perfect. It's perfect. So Krista, thank you so much for sharing the incredible program with us and with the members today. For anyone who is interested in working with Krista, as you can tell, she's super lively, super passionate. She knows what she's talking about. Head over to her social media channels if you need a little bit of evidence of how well-versed she is in the digital media world. But before that, head over to her vendor booth. She's got a vendor booth with us at the expo today. So head over there. You can chat with her directly one-on-one and maybe get some more info on how her program or her services can help you really make a difference with your business. That's what we're all about today, is helping businesses and organizations really grow and adapt and figure out their next steps and how to be as present and relevant as possible. So with that being said, we'll also be sending over everyone who signed up today. So for anyone who is maybe listening later, we'll be sending this information to everyone who has signed up. So if you missed it right now, Krista, they'll still get your amazing information and can reach out. We'll send Krista's information to everyone as well. So you can follow up with those resources and all of that. Krista, if that's good for you, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back on the main stage at 2:30. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or water. Thanks so much for joining us today, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first ever Virtual Member Expo. My name is Karina Massicott, and I am the Director of Operations and Communications for the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce. So today is all about you. It's all about getting you connected and getting you ahead. So feel free to pop in and out, visit the exhibitors and the main stage at your leisure. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedules to be here with us today. And a huge thank you to RBC and BarterPay Niagara for powering today's Member Expo. This event would not be possible without their support, so thank you so much for your partnership. So just a couple of housekeeping items. And I apologize if you've heard these already, but we want to make sure that everyone hears these messages. So click the links above or the banners in the lobby to navigate around today's platform. You can use the chat beside this window to submit any questions to our speakers, and we'll try our best to get to all of the questions. For networking, we've got some open rooms available to you, so just click the networking button. And our exhibitors also, some of our exhibitors will have networking rooms as well. So make sure to pop by and say hello and learn more about their businesses. And of course, most important thing, prizes. Make sure that you punch your Expo passport. And how you do that is you just scan the QR codes. And all you have to do is open your camera on your phone, no matter what kind of phone you have. Just open your camera, scan that code, and every scan will automatically enter you into the draw for the prizes. So each exhibitor has a QR code, so make sure you click around and learn about our exhibitors. And if you want to know what the prizes are, just click the link above and you can see what's available. So in today's session, we've got 3 resources available to you through the Chamber to help making do business better for, oh my goodness, what is wrong with me today? To make it easier for you to do business. We're going to start with BarterPay Niagara and then move on to Deal Prep and then to the Enterprise Center. So first up, I would like to pass it over to Susan Olson, one of the owners of BarterPay Niagara. So over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Karina. Hello, as you know, my name is Susan Olson, and I'm part of Barter Pay Niagara. We're a family-owned small business, like many of you. Our daughter just came to start working with us last year as our communications director. Our mission at Barter Pay Niagara is to redefine and educate how barter is a viable option for small businesses. We've been privileged to help many of our Barter Pay members before, during, and for sure after COVID, once everything is done and open again. We're a solutions-based company, and we connect small businesses in Niagara to do business by bartering their idle inventory and unsold services to the companies on our network. To that end, we offer unique programs, for example, interest-free barter pay credit loans, as well as grant programs. We encourage you to check out our website at barterpayniagara.ca, or just give us a call so that we can answer your questions, or come visit us in the chat room. We've already met a couple of fascinating businesses, so come on by if you can. We're very proud to partner with GNCC for this event. GNCC is an amazing supporter of Barter Pay Niagara, and we cannot thank them enough. We'd like to wish everyone here today and Niagara as a whole every continued success. We're looking forward to a bright, healthy, and prosperous future. And now, if you have questions, I'm more than happy to take them.
Thank you so much, Susan. So I know with the system, companies can offer up, say, products that they might not be able to move, and then they can get barter dollars in exchange that they can then purchase other products. Now, if I'm a business that offers a service, and actually we do offer services as the Chamber, and we are members of Barter Pay Niagara. So can you explain a little bit how that would work if you only offer services?
Yeah, of course. So as you said, it's easy to imagine how products would work through the barter system. We're not a clearance house, but we do help move idle inventory or unsold products. So just like products, services can be unsold. So you may have a window washing service, for example. It's not an actual product you sell. Obviously, you need good weather, but it's a service. So we would advertise you on our what we call Barter Blast, which is like a weekly promotion that comes out via an email. And then when you're not, as a window washing company, when you're not busy, so at the very beginning of the season, for example, or at the very end, or maybe midweek when people don't really want you at their house, that's when we would offer your services to our Barter Pay membership. And we call it a membership because it's a network of small and medium-sized businesses. And so we'd like to think that we're helping each other out. If the window washer is quiet, you know, that time, once it's gone, he will never be, or she will never be able to monetize it. So where Barter Pay really shines is being able to monetize that downtime, so that window washer can then build up credits to do advertising, marketing, promotional materials. Maybe they need a bookkeeper. So yes, absolutely, a service is barterable, very much. So we have lots of great services on our network as well.
Wonderful. That was a very good explanation. Now, also, I know that you do auctions. So actually, as a member, I participated in the last auction that you ran. And so attendees here today will be able to see some Google Nest minis that are available in the prizes. And I actually purchased those through the auction that Barter Pay does.
Very good.
Susan, can you tell me a little bit about how the auction works?
Absolutely. So Barter Pay is, Barter Pay, bartering services and products, but we also have a Barter Pay It Forward Foundation. And we have many members who are generous enough to donate on a regular basis funds to our Barter Pay It Forward Foundation, which specifically helps 100 charities in the Niagara region. So all of the money that is donated stays in Niagara. I think, like everyone on the GNCC, we are Niagara-based. We're small and medium-sized business-based. So twice a year, we have an online auction. We actually just finished the one you were referencing earlier. We call it our Spring Barter Pay It Forward online auction. So it ran for 4 days, and people picked up anything from, there was a barbecue. One guy got spring cleaning services. Someone else got a mattress. There were all kinds of men who, I shouldn't say that, but there are all kinds of purchasers who ended up with, sports memorabilia or games or I can't think of anything else right now. The point is that we had over 550 items, which generated $250,000 in revenue. And we asked for a mandatory donation of 10% for the seller to donate to the foundation. So from $250,000 in activity, we were able to collectively donate $25,000 to local charities. So we really feel that it's a way to give back. It's a way to help those in need. And the need has, frankly, as I'm sure everyone knows, never been greater.
That's true. That's true. Wow, that's amazing. I didn't realize that that's how much was raised from the auction. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It was so fun. People had a blast. They were bidding wars. And then when people come to our office in St. Catharines to pick up their products, we get to say hi and thank you again. And it was just a really fun time.
Amazing. So clearly the whole program is a win-win-win. It's a
Absolutely.
win for, people that need to move stuff. It's a win for people that need stuff. And it's a win for our charities here in Niagara. So
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for being here today and explaining how the program works. And for those out there now, Barter Pay Niagara is actually, it's an affinity program through the Ontario Chamber as well. So you'll find information up here on our website. You can go there and Susan will be in her Zoom room later in her booth. So if you have more questions, you can go visit her there. So thanks so much for being here today, Susan.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got a busy agenda today. So we are gonna move on to our next speaker. So now I would like to pass it over to Thomas Southmaids, who is the CEO of Deal Prep, to explain how this program works for you. Over to you, Thomas.
Thank you so much, Karina. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to showcase Deal Prep for you all. So from a high level, what is Deal Prep? Deal Prep is a legal education platform. So, legal tech, legal innovation, these are all pretty big right now. But we're really founded on the idea that companies need better legal support, whether it be building a legal foundation, whether it be starting your business, scaling your business, or even just the small little things that you have to do on a daily basis. We know that legal is complex. Folks don't have access to the education or the hundreds of thousands of dollars it costs to go to school, or the time. And so we want to make sure that folks are better prepared and better comfortable with their legal. So we built this platform called Deal Prep, and as I mentioned, it's all about education, right? So the platform is based around contract templates, knowledge, and it essentially gives folks the ability to learn more about the various contracts that they have to handle as a business owner. So I think without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here and just show the platform. Okay, so that should be visible now. It's just loading on my end. So. Can I get a confirmation that this is live?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So this is dealprep.co. You can see at the very top, we say legal contract templates built by lawyers, made for founders. This is really our ethos. We know that legal is difficult. And so the lawyers who actually built this platform built it for founders, built it with the understanding that a lot of this needs to be demystified. A lot of the jargon that goes around and a lot of the complex language needs to be better understood. And so we've built the platform with founders in mind. And so this is the perfect audience. So I'm going to log in here and we're just going to have a look at the platform. Okay, perfect. So as I log in, and my screen is flashing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as we see here in the Business Law Learning Library, we have various buttons. All of these buttons here showcase the different frameworks of typical contracts, right? So we're talking about company formation, commercial activities. And I know it sounds a little daunting, right? These larger topics, but when you go into them, you can actually see the contracts broken down by their own individual frameworks. So looking over here, you can see that we've got, and my screen is flashing again, but I think it's good now. Okay, so over here, you can see that we have the various frameworks with the numbers associated with them. This is the amount of contracts that are currently part of that framework. We have a content team that is dedicated to putting up new contracts on a daily basis, taking down contracts for auditing, and also just updating these to make sure that they serve the purpose. All right, so for the sake of this, I'm going to open up a basic NDA here, just so we can look at something, or we can look at a contract and see all of the features. Okay, perfect. So I know it's a contract, it's a lot to look at, but we break it down quite simple. So at the top, we always start off with a disclaimer. This is really important to note because our platform does not act as legal representation or any kind of lawyer-client relationship, right? We're here to provide educational support. So all of this is conceptual learning. We go into the contract here, and you can see that we have the various fillable fields. Pretty standard amongst many contract template platforms where you can go in and you can fill out your information. Let's say my company name is Thomas. You can see that Thomas will populate into the other company name fields. Luckily, this is a short contract that I've chosen, so we can actually see that it does transport across the entire contract. And then at the bottom of the contract, you can see that we also have signing abilities like this. Of course, not all contracts have their signing needs, so you'll find these on some of the contracts. Okay, and then moving up back to the top here. The question comes with, how does this become a learning platform? How does this become, where do I actually learn about these contracts? Where do I learn about these clauses? And the answer is in the little bubbles associated with each one of these clauses. So you can see as I hover over definition of confidential information, I see a little bubble that pops up. Same thing with exclusions from confidential information. These all go across the entire contract. So let's say I am a founder and I'm looking at a definition of confidential information and something about this just isn't sitting right with me. Maybe it's the wording of it. Maybe I just don't understand it. Totally fair, whatever scenario it is, this stuff is tough. So if I want to learn a little bit more, I can just click on the bubble. And then on the right side, a knowledge tab will pop up. In the knowledge tab is a consolidation of legal knowledge through blog articles written by lawyers. There's legal variation language, explaining different ways that this clause has been drafted in the past or for different use cases, as well as legal Q&A. So there's a lot of questions and answers here. And in fact, what we're looking at right now, you can see that we've got a, what is a so-and-so clause dash contractor agreement. So you can see that we're giving folks the ability to understand how this works across entire legal frameworks. As I scroll down, you'll see that there's a lot more information, and it's all written in plain language as much as we possibly can. And of course, as I mentioned, this is all being updated as we get user feedback. But we go through and we can see that some of these change to green. These are the blog posts, all written by our own team. And then we have knowledge from other related categories. The knowledge from other related categories showcases some knowledge that is not directly related to basic NDAs or to the definition of confidential information specifically, but may actually serve a need with the entire confidentiality framework. So all to say, when you're going through these contracts and you're trying to learn a little bit more about them and you're trying to get a first draft done, and maybe you want to bring this to a lawyer afterwards, or you want to get this reviewed and verified, at least you can go in with the comfort knowing that you understand what this contract actually means. And you have some good ideas as to what your decision criteria is as somebody who is servicing this contract. Now, you can see here that we have some questions that are quite formulaic, right? What is a so-and-so clause, or what is a so-and-so clause for a certain purpose? We also have some less formulaic questions here, such as how can I alter the definition of so-and-so? I can tell you that our team does not sit down and come up with such elaborate questions as that. We actually rely on our user base to do so. Legal is one of those industries where it's ever changing. There's new contracts coming out all the time. There are new ideas, new ways of wording things, and also just different ways of wording contracts, right? A basic NDA might be the common way to label a contract here, but it may not be 2 years from now, or it may not be in a different jurisdiction. So this is ever updating based on user feedback. Now, we'll get into this a little later on, but we offer folks the ability to ask questions to our team. And so somebody on our platform went through this contract and they saw a definition of confidential information. They said, well, you know what, I don't really understand this to the full degree and I have a question. We gave them the opportunity to ask our legal team a question and we were able to provide a response. All of those questions and answers go right back into the platform because we have the understanding that if one founder has a question, there's a good chance that 50 other founders will have that same question or similar question sometime in the future. And so we make sure that this is an ever-growing ecosystem. If we're getting requests for new documents, if you're not finding a document in particular that on the platform that you're really looking for, all you need to do is just ask and our team will be able to provide. Now, to kind of wrap this all together, after you've gone through your contract, you've gone through your clauses, you have a better understanding of it, you filled out your fields, you want to actually take this to to Google Docs or to Microsoft Word. You can take this up to export download, and then you can choose PDF or DocX, and then you can do further drafting based on what you've referenced from the platform itself. All right, that's actually all I have to show, and I hope that was within the time frame. I wasn't actually looking at the clock here.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you so much. Yes.
Perfect.
So, Thomas, you mentioned that, so we're looking at the contracts, we can download it. So if I'm a business owner, I've downloaded the contract, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on here. You mentioned being able to ask questions. So what's the feature? Do they send an email if they don't want to read through all of the past questions? What's the best way to go about that?
Certainly. So on the contract itself, we've embedded a chatbot. So, standard chatbot, same way that you would find on anywhere else. But the chatbot offers folks the ability to drop in any type of question, right? So it could be as simple as, I don't understand definition of confidential information. Somebody help me. Or it could be as specific as, I'm a little confused by the choice of the word disclosing party. What does disclosing party mean? I need some more insight on that. You can ask those questions using our chatbot, and our team will collect those automatically and then provide a response within 2 business days directly to the individual's email. The individual will receive a super lengthy and super elaborate and also extremely helpful response that details further reading, will detail some questions to help guide them through their learning through further concepts. And it'll also provide, of course, the direct responses to what this clause means. We're not going to tell you how to use the clause for your particular business because that is not our job, but we are able to provide you with the educational support so that you can better understand this clause. And it is all done through the chatbot, and then we can an email back and forth.
Okay, now you mentioned that you don't want to give legal advice. So if I'm a business owner and the issue is getting a little more complicated, am I able to connect to an actual lawyer through you?
Certainly. So that actually isn't what the platform was designed for in the first place, right? We built this to just help folks. But then we understood that, as folks were using the platform, they were like, well, you know what, my problem isn't completely solved because now I have this contract. How do I actually, get that figurative legal stamp or get somebody to just review this? Totally understandable. So what we did is we actually built out an entire affiliate legal network. So along with the platform and all the content that you find, as I mentioned, all of it is written by lawyers and vetted by lawyers. The same lawyers who are writing all of this content and vetting all of it are all lawyers who are part of our affiliate network who have devoted their time to answering questions to folks directly via Zoom calls. So you can send in a request to get a free AMA call, and these calls are Ask Me Anything calls. They last 15 minutes. You get a face-to-face with a lawyer who gets paired with you from your jurisdiction and ideally with the specific expertise that you're looking for. And then you can just ask questions on the fly, face-to-face. We know that that kind of learning is a lot more effective for some folks, so that's kind of why we embedded it. Now, I think also just to further along with that, we also know that some folks will want to actually get a paid engagement out of this. They will want a lawyer to really dig into their review, dig into their draft, and become counsel. That is also possible as well with the folks who you can get on a call with. So when you get paired with a lawyer, all you need to do is just ask them, I'm looking to get a paid engagement through this. And then those lawyers will be able to provide affordable rates to folks who are looking to get their documents reviewed and through a paid engagement. And those engagements start at just $45 for a 30-minute call. Of course, that is kind of out of DealPrep's hands, that is with the affiliate lawyers, but they have all taken an affordability pledge to help out founders and small businesses.
Amazing. Well, this tool is definitely going to help it make it easier for business owners to do business. And for those out there listening who are not aware, DealPrep is also another business savings program of the GNCC. So if you click up top here, you can find more information about that and how this service is available to you through the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce. So Thomas, thank you so much for being here today. And if anyone has any further questions, make sure to visit the DealPrep booth where you can get Thomas's contact information.
Thank you very much.
Take care, Thomas. Now, next up, we have Rob Belcher joining us. Rob Belcher is a small business consultant with the St. Catharines Enterprise Center, and he's here to tell you about a few services that are available through the Enterprise Centers. So Rob, over to you.
Hi, Karina. Thanks so much. I appreciate the opportunity. I apologize if my sound is a little bit off. I normally have a headset, but the microphone has stopped working in the past day or so. So you can hear me okay, Karina, right?
Yep, you
Beautiful.
sound great.
Okay, thank you. I'll share my screen, and I do want to respect everybody's time. So this will aid me in respecting people's time, and we'll share some good information of what our office is and what we do and how we help. And there we go. So briefly, for those of you who aren't familiar with the St. Catharines Enterprise Center, I will mention that we are one of 47 offices across Ontario that provide services just like this. And one of the other offices in that network is here at the Member Expo today as well. So you have both the St. Catharines Enterprise Center here and the Niagara Falls Small Business Enterprise Center here as well. So I do invite you to drop in to see either our booth in St. Catharines or to visit the Niagara Falls booth as well. I know Dean and his team are here, and there's myself, Kristen, and Sarah here representing St. Catharines. And so what we do is at a very high level, we offer a lot of support to businesses, quite often at the startup phase, but through the past year, a lot more existing businesses have been reaching out as well for a variety of information requests. And we've put on all kinds of different webinars. We offer advice and guidance on developing a business plan, on searching for funding, accessing different supports out there. So we're that first place that people can reach out to and be connected with resources and information and guidance to help you and your business succeed. And why are we part of part of 47 office network? We're funded in part by the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade. And they saw it as being very important almost 30 years ago to start our network to get out there into local communities and support small businesses. So we're employees in St. Catharines of the city of St. Catharines, but people from all across Niagara region do reach out to us and the Niagara Falls office as well. Just to give you a flavor of some of the types of seminars we offer, in-house, myself and our team, we deliver regularly steps to starting, business planning, marketing, cash flow forecasting, all kinds of topics like that. And then we bring in outside experts to talk about accounting and to talk about different government programs. And you can see on the screen there the wide variety of different programs we offer. Right now, we've been having a series on human resources and leadership in the workplace and how to adapt during COVID and take care of your team. Last week with the talk, the focus was on mental health in the workplace. And we record these webinars if you'd like to check them out. They're on our St. Catharines Enterprise Center YouTube page. Whole variety of different topics, including tomorrow, we'll have a guest speaker at our office online on Zoom talking about social media and small business as well. The number one question we get, and I'll share a couple programs that are available right now. The number one question we get is, where is the money? And day in, day out, I don't know if there's a business day that goes by where we don't get an inquiry about what funding is out there. And I really want to direct people with that question to legitimate sources. And we often share this link that's on the screen here as a resource where people can look for themselves and know and trust that it's legitimate, and know and trust that they won't have to pay for information. Quite often I come across people who have paid a lot of money to access programs from a source that didn't have the authority to charge for that information. But basically they're just reselling information that you can find for free at the site. So that's one thing I really want to make you aware of, is you should never have to pay for access to information. Now, there are legitimate organizations that will help you with writing a business plan or help you with writing a grant application for a fee, but you don't necessarily have to pay for those things. Two programs we offer in our office traditionally, both for new businesses or businesses that are less than a year old. One is Starter Company Plus, which we accept applications for, and we can give business training, mentoring, and grants of up to $5,000 for businesses that are less than a year old or right at the startup phase. A second one we offer, which applications will be closing soon, is for students aged 15 to 29 who are either in high school or post-secondary school and plan to go back in the fall. They can also receive some business training, mentoring, guidance, and a grant of up to $3,000 to help them launch a business and gain the experience of running a business over the summer. Many of those students continue to operate their businesses beyond that. So those are some of the traditional things that we do at our office at a very, very high level. When Karina reached out, or when the Chamber reached out, one of the requests was, Rob, can you tell us what's new? What's going on in your network? What about Digital Main Street? What about the COVID programs that are out there? So at a very high level, our offices have been asked by the province to expand our services or let people know in the business community that we're here to help businesses adjust the impacts of COVID-19. And a couple ways that we've been doing it. One has been helping people to make sure that they've accessed all the different programs that are available, giving people a little bit of guidance and information on where to find the programs, whether it's the Ontario Small Business Support Grant or the Rent Relief Grant or the Wage Subsidy or the Emergency Bank Account, or any other number of programs that have been available. We don't officially offer these programs, so we just are a conduit of information. So we can't troubleshoot all of the problems that might happen, but we can make you aware of the different programs that are out there. And potentially we can help answer any questions if you are having trouble with some of the grants, or connect you with the right resource, maybe at the MP's office or the MPP's office, for example. A couple of things that we're gearing up to do over the next few months is helping businesses with digital transformation. And so if you're an existing business and you're a little bit tentative about getting your business online, or you have that website, but it doesn't have e-commerce, or you're feeling like it's not attracting enough clientele, we can give you some guidance and support on that front. We won't be your agency per se, but we can teach you how to do it, or teach you, guide you as you approach somebody to help you if you need professional support. So we're here to troubleshoot and support, offer guidance, offer resources, offer information. And to find out more about not just the St. Catharines office, but our whole network, we've, as a network, we've launched a new website called sbcontario.ca, so smallbusinesscentersontario.ca. And this specific link here, I know you can't click it on Zoom, but or on the platform we're on, but this is a good description to our network. And I'd be happy if you came to our booth to share these resources with you after the fact, or if you reached out to us at another time or another day, we can support you in this way. So last but not least, so please know we're here for businesses as a resource. We have been helping a lot with adapting to COVID, with digital transformations. And on the note of digital transformations, there is the program called Digital Main Street. So the City of St. Catharines is one of the local service providers for Digital Main Street. And it's a province-wide program that's been administered by the Ontario Business Improvement Area Association. And they have provided us with some funding to offer a digital service squad locally. We've had different members on that team. And what they do is they help with things like some of the topics I mentioned before, like getting your business social media up to date, search engine optimization, launching e-commerce, all kinds of digital adaptation, learning digital skills. They can help you and offer you guidance on a variety of those topics. At our economic development website, investinstc.ca, there is a section for Digital Main Street to be connected with the local team, and they can offer you free guidance or advice. Our efforts for this project specifically are targeted to St. Catharines businesses. but there are other service providers in Niagara, including in Niagara Falls, and there have been service providers, service squad in other areas. And that leads me to the grants too. Right now, the grants have stopped temporarily. There's defined periods where the grants are open. We helped over 60 St. Catharines businesses access grants of up to $2,500, and many more had similar success across the region over the past year as well. And so do watch for the grants to reopen. The eligibility may change in the future. We're waiting for more detail on that. In the past, the grants have been limited to traditional downtown areas. The latest version of the program expanded that definition just a little bit, so we were able to serve some businesses on Queenston Street, in Port Dalhousie, on Facer Street, and we hope that it'll expand even further if a 3.0 version of this program comes out. But again, we're not the decision makers or the funders, but we do deliver the programming as it's announced by the Ontario Business Improvement Association. And they have to wait for funding from the province and federal government. So there's a little bit to it, but we do want to make you aware because we have had some really nice success. We've seen some businesses get the first round of the grant, the second round of the grant, and then access other services through Digital Main Street, such as our service squad and our Shop Here program, which is also offered by Digital Main Street. We're a new business, or we're a small business, whether it's a home-based business or a small restaurant, a small retail store, can have a website built for them with e-commerce functionality built in, usually a Shopify store where it's set up for you. The first few months of the Shopify fees are waived, and it coaches you on how to run your store. There's also, I've seen cases where businesses that book things by appointment have had a store set up for them, and people have been able to book, things like their massage or their hair cutting appointment or things like that as well. So like I say, you can go either to our economic development website, investinstc.ca, where you can be connected with the local service provider for Digital Main Street, which is myself and the team I'm privileged to work with, very talented people. Or you can go province-wide and go straight to the source, programs.digitalmainstreet.ca, and you can learn about these programs, as well as another program, which I haven't put on the screen here, called Future Proof, which is similar to the Digital Transformation Grant, but just slightly different target, slightly different focus, and delivered by a different organization out of Waterloo, actually. So to reach us, I'm just trying to be mindful and respectful of time. To reach us, we are working virtually right now. So to reach us, you can either call us at the city number with the extension 1767, you can email us, or you can find us on investinstc.ca. Like I say, there are two offices. There's Dean at the Niagara Falls office. There's myself and the team here in St. Catharines. There's no wrong door. We're here to help businesses across the region. There's a couple things that are focused specifically on St. Catharines, but for the most part, everything I talked about is available to any business on this call. So thanks so much for your time. And Karina, thanks for this opportunity. I've greatly appreciated it.
Thank you so much for being here, Rob. Now, I think we need to just hammer this home. So now if I'm not located in St. Catharines, my business is not located in St. Catharines, does that mean I have no resources available to me?
No, we're absolutely here. We're funded by the province of Ontario. The city of St. Catharines puts in a lot of funding as well, and we're city employees, but the province wants the 47 offices across the network to serve any business within the region that we're occupying. So we see a lot of clients from Welland, from Thorold, from Lincoln, right? West Lincoln, Grimsby. And then I know Niagara Falls overlaps with that. They see a lot from Fort Erie and Niagara on the Lake and Thorold as well. So you name the municipality, we have clients in every municipality across the region. So it's a great point.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, we get that question a lot. It's just the name, right? The names can throw you off, but yes, there are the two offices, and I know you guys are willing to help anybody and help.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All the time. And it's funny, I know Dean has a client that he loves from St. Catharines, and it just happens sometimes where for whatever reason people say, oh, I'd rather deal with the Niagara Falls office or the St. Catharines office. And there's no wrong door. We're all helping each other succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Rob, I just wanted to touch on the summer company for a moment, because summer's about to start. And for the students who would be looking into getting into that program, can you remind us of what ages that's for?
Oh, perfect. That's a great question. So it's for ages 15, 29. So as of this time, like between now and May 23rd, when applications close, so this weekend, as long as the student is either 15 or somewhere up to age 29, they're eligible.
Perfect. All right. That's good to know. I didn't even realize myself that it went all the way to 29. So thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite a range, right? Like we'll have students who are maybe on their second post-secondary degree, or a 15-year-old in, a grade 10 student or a grade 11 student, right? So it's quite diverse what we work with.
And we're seeing so many people going back to school for new careers. So that's good to know that that's available to them.
Exactly. And the expectation is that they go back to school in the fall. But we have seen many students who have kept their business going, and some who have made it a full-time career when they're done school too.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Rob. It was so good to see you. And so if anyone has any questions for Rob or for Susan, who is here from Barter Pay Niagara, for Thomas, who is here from Deal Prep, please check out their booths today and get their contact information. You can chat with them today or follow up with them later. Also, Rob shared a few links, and so did Thomas. So we'll be making sure to send out those links and resources with a follow-up email to everyone who signed up today. So you can look out for that. I would like to thank RBC and Barter Pay Niagara for powering today's Member Expo. Without them, this event would not be possible. So thank you so much for your partnership. So we'll be taking a quick break on the main stage, and we will begin again at 3:30. So click around, visit the vendors, make sure to punch your Expo passport and get in for the prizes, and we'll see you back shortly. Hello, and welcome back to the main stage at our first ever Virtual Member Expo. I'm Karina Massicott, and I'm the Director of Communications and Operations for the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce. Now today, this is all about you. You told us that you needed learning opportunities, networking, and ways to support local, so we delivered. Today, you'll be able to connect with others and get ahead of the game. So feel free to pop in and out, visit the exhibitors, and watch the main stage at your leisure. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be here with us. Now, a huge thank you to RBC and Barter Pay Niagara, because their support has made today's event possible. So please make sure to check out their booths and say hello and thank you. Now, a couple of housekeeping items for those who are just joining us. You can click on the links above and on the banners in the lobby to navigate around the platform. You can use the chat window beside this video screen right now to submit any questions for our speakers. Networking, we've got some open networking rooms available to you, so you can click on the links above, and some of our exhibitors also have networking rooms, so be sure to pop by and say hello. Now, prizes. Be sure to punch your Expo passport by scanning the QR codes that you see on the exhibitor's booth. Now you do this by just opening your camera on your phone, any kind of phone, and you just scan it, and each scan will enter you into the draw for the prizes. And if you'd like to know what prizes are available, you can click on the links. Now on to this session. Now, culture and music is so important in a community, and it drives economic development, because if people want to live in a community and the population grows, that's going to grow economic activity. So today it is my great pleasure to introduce Juliette Dunn, wearer of many hats. She's the executive director, artistic director, and co-creator of the Niagara Jazz Festival. You know her, you love her. If you've been at any GNCC gala, you've heard her amazing, beautiful voice. So now she is going to be here to tell you what's coming up with the Niagara Jazz Festival. So Juliette, over to you.
Welcome. My name is Juliette Dunn, and I'm the Executive Director, Co-Creator, and Artistic Producer of the 8th Annual TD Niagara Jazz Festival. We're super excited to share with you today what we've been doing in the past, what we're doing presently, and what we hope to do when we are allowed to all play outside again together, hopefully soon. Please be sure to join us at our Member Expo booth and enjoy. We'll see you in a bit. Ah, the good old days. Remember those when we weren't in a pandemic? Seems like forever ago. But here's a little bit of what we actually do when we're not in a pandemic. We're in parks, in Simcoe Park in Niagara on the Lake, in Lakeside Park in St. Catharines. We do jazz in the park. We do world music on the beach. We have activities for kids. We have dancing. We have culinary delights. We have wine. We have live music, of course. And it's very, very exciting. And we'll get back to that. But here's a little glimpse of what we've done over the past 7 years. Yes, we remember those times fondly, but we will get back to those, but safely. So here's how we transitioned. Last March, we had a show programmed right here in our studio, actually. It was supposed to be for 40 people, nice and cozy, with James Bryan for March 30th. So we realized we couldn't have people gather, and we didn't even want to have James in the studio. So we live streamed. I presented from right here at Shady Acres Studio, and James was in Hamilton. And that was the beginning of our live streaming experience. Well, since then, we've done over 90 live streamed performances. I've been presenting from here in St. Catharines, and we've brought in musicians from as far as Holland, Uganda, Niagara, of course, Hamilton, Toronto, BC, and in a way, the pandemic did open up doors and borders for us in that way. Not saying that we want to stay live streaming all the time, but here's a glimpse at some of the live streamed performances we did in 2020.
do the same. Sugar, because you disapprove. Sugar so sweet, it's gonna help me move. Sugar, because you comfort me. Sugar, you know you set me free. Sugar, when I can feel the leg. Sugar so sweet, and when you don't look back.
So that clip you just saw was how we transitioned from our World Music on the Beach to a winter event. We had funding from our title sponsor, TD, from Ontario Creates, and from the City of St. Catharines, and they said we could use the funding up until the end of the year. So we thought, how do we do this? So we did it in December, and those bands that were supposed to come here to Niagara, they set up their recordings from their respective places all over the world, Uganda, France, and Spain, and we managed to do Connected World. So the pandemic's had a silver lining in a few ways, we must say. As much as we'd like to have had the bands here, at least we got to bring music to the people and employ musicians. So we're really excited about that. So now, starting in the new year, what we've decided to do is take our Twilight Jazz series that used to be at Mate Cafe and Lounge and do it online, because we knew we couldn't be in venues right away. So why wait? Let's keep it online until we can until further notice, basically. And we're still there. So we'd like to show you a few clips of our first shows of our Twilight Jazz series of the season. Enjoy.
When my heartbeat song was singing along with you, I knew it was love. When a plane flying loud wrote my name in a cloud, writing, will you marry me? That was quite the clue that you were knowing too. We knew it was love.
Maybe that could be a good reason to talk today, because we doing something right. So that's right. So if you guys want any advice on how to make your love the best love it can be, feel free to call the Dr. Bryson Miller Jazz Trio for your loving advice at 1-800-635. Let me stop.
What a great season so far for our Twilight Jazz series, and 4 more shows coming up. And hopefully some of them will have in person. But remember, even if we do have people in person, we'll still be live streaming to everybody at home. So that's the good news. And here's some more good news. Niagara's online Summer Mardi Gras. Last year we had to do it online because we couldn't gather, and that's okay. So we're doing it online again this year, and if we're allowed to have some people gather, we'll be at 13th Street Winery, and we're so excited. But regardless, we're still going to work with 13th Street because we're going to have experience boxes that you can order and have at home. So you get your mask, you get your beads, you get your baubles. You'll see the parade, you'll see it all online. Between Niagara and New Orleans. It's from 3 p.m. until 10 p.m. So lots of fun. And again, you can enjoy it online And if we're allowed to have a few people gather, you'll be the first to know if you follow us on social media and if you go on our website. So here's a clip from last summer's online Summer Mardi Gras, and we hope you can join us this year. Oh, by the way, the date is Saturday, July 24th. Hope to see you there.
Join us for this virtually possible event as we transform Niagara to the New Orleans of the North. Get your mask, beads, baubles, and feathers on. Enjoy Cajun and Creole food, classic cocktails, and dance the night away. Celebrate with us on your porch, in your garden, in your living room, or in your driveway. And wait for the band to parade by. Niagara's Summer Mardi Gras, July 18, 2020. It's coming. Just watch and see.
So as you can see, tons of fun with Mardi Gras. And I forgot to mention there's some free sessions leading up to the Mardi Gras event, and those will be on Tuesday nights, and they're free as well. Mask making, Cajun food, cocktails, so much fun learning about the culture of New Orleans. And then more about learning about culture, Black history and culture right here in Niagara. Matter of Black started this last year with the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre, and we're joining the team and we're all presenting an Emancipation Day weekend. It starts on Thursday, July 29th, and our portion will be the Black History Tour on the 31st of July, and then the Emancipation Day picnic. Now, we're hoping to be able to have a few people gather in Lakeside Park like back in the day, and if not, we'll be doing it online. So again, like Mardi Gras, either way, the show must go on. Our tagline is, it's virtually possible. So keep your eyes out for Emancipation Day. And here's some of the artists we'll be featuring.
Want some sugar in my bowl.
Tonight, they know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded.
So as you can see, Emancipation Day is going to be a wonderful weekend, and hopefully we can gather, and if not, we'll do it online. But in any case, we'll be partnering with our local restaurants so that you can take the day off and just enjoy your picnic in the comfort of your own backyard. And last year, when we did our Hungry for Hammond series, we actually transitioned into live events. We had 2 out of over 70. And what was great was that it was very safe and people felt safe. And as you can see by the slide, we had them all masked. They had paddles so that the volunteers would come and serve them, so nobody got up to mingle. And we can do that again. We can do 35 to 50 people, 3-course dinner, all nice and safely socially, there's a tongue twister, socially distanced. So this year we have the same thing, Hungry for Hammond series part 2. And if you're wondering what Hammond is, it's a Hammond B3 organ. And if you haven't heard one, you'll want to come out for sure. So here are the details of our upcoming Hungry for Hammond series. And again, hopefully we can gather live. Check it out. Before I leave you, I'd just like to tell you about a few other things that we have going on and ways that you can get involved. So Jazz for the Ages is our youth competition. It's all online right now, and the finals will be in August from our Shady Acre studio outside with just the family members gathering. And if we're allowed. And basically the age categories are 12 and under, 13 to 17, 18 to 23. We're looking for singers, instrumentalists, and bands. So if you know anyone who is a musician in the genre of jazz, which as you know now is quite an umbrella, please get them to go on our website, or you can just email youth@NiagaraJazzFestival.com. That's our Jazz for the Ages youth competition. So I bet you're wondering how you can get involved. Well, there's a few ways. How about volunteering and being on our team? So if you are interested in becoming a volunteer, you can email Mary, and her email is volunteer@NiagaraJazzFestival.com. And even better yet, I know she's she's in our booth, and you may have seen her earlier already. And so that's Mary for volunteering. Lots of fun ways to help us out. And even online, there's lots of things you can do from home. So if I didn't mention it before, we are a registered charity and a not-for-profit organization. And we do get lots of funding from the government, thank you. But we are always looking for sponsors and additional support. So if you are a local business that would like to sponsor or partner with the festival, there are sponsorship levels from as low as $250, and we also take sponsorship in kind. So please reach out to us. The email to contact Trisha at is sponsorship@NiagaraJazzFestival.com. And if you don't own a business, but you would still like to help out the festival, you can always donate. And you can go on our website to find out more about donating to the festival. And thank you in advance. We really appreciate it. And finally, I'd like to let you know about our spring charity auction that's still happening until May 30th. So many great prizes. We've got a beautiful portrait of Ella Fitzgerald and a signed autograph from the lady herself. There's artwork, there's drum lessons, piano lessons, there's one night stay in an Airbnb here in Niagara. Tons of great prizes or gifts. And so that's on our website. And we're also going to put up the slide here with the details for our charity auction. So be sure to go and bid. And again, it all goes to a very worthy cause. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for those who have already tuned in to our shows before, to those who have donated and sponsored, because you're helping us keep music alive here in Niagara and beyond. And as you know, nowadays, it's virtually possible. Enjoy this last clip. Stay safe, everyone. Au revoir et à la prochaine. Ciao.
Wow, there's so much to see and do. And at the end there, we saw live music feeds the soul, and we know that is certainly true and so good for mental health. So please take time out to take a break, enjoy a jazz concert in your home. Even though it's in your home, that live music is really going to help you out, especially as we are all stuck indoors. We really need to be mindful of self-care and enjoying some music and culture in our lives. So we have a great partnership with the Jazz Festival. We'll be sending out information, so please stay tuned. And they also have a booth, so please make sure to go and say hello and see how you can get involved or see how you can watch a show. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope you had as much fun as we did for our first ever Virtual Member Expo. It's been absolutely fabulous. A huge thank you to RBC and BarterPay Niagara, again, for powering today's Member Expo. Your partnership is invaluable. So please stick around, hang out, visit the exhibitors. Zoom rooms will be open until 4 o'clock, and we will keep the site open for a little while so you can keep shopping and keep supporting local. So thank you again for being